Hello friends, and welcome to another Modern League. Today we're returning after quite a time apart to the Spirits list. Got an Azorius list here. This is the same list that we played last time. I took a look at MtG Goldfish, and it looks like Dr. Queller has been up to their old tricks again. They've been putting up trophy runs with the two spirits decks with absolutely no changes, no new cards used. So if it's good enough for Dr. Queller, it's good enough for us. All right, this hand looks fine to me. We have 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Kids saying hi for 30 minutes. That sounds legit. Hi, 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 hi. Hello. Okay, so Triome. My guess would be Niv to Light. Haven't seen any Halifax MTGers in many moons. Has the gym been open at all? I imagine there would have been some times where the gym was open enough to allow some people to climb. We'll go ahead and counter this. Oh, thanks, handsome. Is it weird I still want to run one Thalia in Spirits? I mean, I think that's a fair thing to do. Thalia is an incredible magic card in Modern. I would absolutely say that that is an option that you could have. Thalia doesn't fly, unfortunately, but I think that that would be respectable to play that card. I kind of think I just want to play the Rattlechains, so I'm just going to play Cavern of Souls pass. Thalia is the best goblin. So Giles, you have seen Kenny. Yeah, that guy's been killing it lately, eh? Yeah, she covers the matchups that Shacklegeist doesn't. You're really going to want Thalia against Storm, for example. Nothing we can do about the Explore here. And there's their extra land. Like, I wouldn't mind having a Thalia for this matchup, for example. Cleansing Wildfire, destroying Cavern of Souls. That's interesting. We can actually go get Island with that and play Wanderer, right? Does this come into play tapped? It comes into play tapped. Okay. So we'll just play the Rattlechains. Without Disdainful Strokes, how do you deal with Primetime decks or Tron? We did have quite a bit of trouble dealing with Tron, so I would say we don't. Being able to flood the board, try and go fast. Unfortunately, we're not as fast as some of the other decks that exist in the format. Another Shacklegeist. Thanks, deck. So we could play Shacklegeist Wanderer and then Drogskol Captain. I think that'll be more damage in the long term. And that also gives us the option to potentially counter a spell. Rattlechains the Karn Exile target? Yes. That is one option. Yep. Bring to Light. With no mana floating, we're just going to go ahead and counter that. Nice. That was a pretty good turn, I would say. Okay, so we could Drogskol Captain this turn, or we could Shacklegeist Spectral Sailor. And like I was doing before, I think putting out more creatures here is actually going to be more damage over time. We could have 6 damage this turn, or next turn we could have way more. Yeah, let's go, we'll attack for 4, and we'll play our creatures out and hope opponent doesn't kill us. Called shot on the counter every once in a while. Snow basics are just to disguise yourself. Snow basics, there's a couple of reasons to play them. None of them particularly good. Okay, so they are going to be able to bring to light this turn, unfortunately, so this is going to resolve. We'll see what they get. Okay, so 1 damage. Oh, the Valky. This could actually be pretty good for us, depending on how this works out. Because we have the Drogskol Captain to potentially counter if they try and exile one of our things. Yeah, I kind of figured that they would have that. Okay, so they're going to exile top card of each player's library. Is this just death? I think we just have the win now, right? Because they're tapped out. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep. This is Xaxes. Chat spot's lethal. Okay. So we obviously bring in the Force of Negation. What else do we bring here? A Damping Sphere is kind of interesting. It taxes their Bring to Light, so it costs an extra mana to cast their spell. We could also bring in Pithing Needle for their Planeswalker. Yeah, good thing Giles was counting. So we definitely want all the Selfless Spirits. I mean, we definitely bother with the Force of Negation. Those things for sure. The Damping Sphere, probably not. I think I would rather have almost any creature. Speaking of which, I think Shacklegeist is our weakest creature in this matchup. We want to have the Selfless Spirits. The Skyclave Apparitions aren't that hot, actually. Yeah, exactly. We can get into trouble if we overboard. We don't want to be boarding out too many creatures for things that don't deal damage. I think I'm going to present like this. I'm not sure that the apparitions are where we want to be. Those might want to be the Shacklegeists instead, because the Geists are cheaper, they fly, and they're blue. But I'm not entirely sure what the opponent could have in store for us, so I kind of like the apparition just as a catch-all. Apparition hits Tibalt. It doesn't hit the Planeswalker, does it? It hits the Valky, but it doesn't hit Tibalt. No idea how they board, unfortunately. Opponent's deck is one that I have never played. Apparition can hit Omnath. Nice. Knew there was a reason to keep it in. This hand is very mediocre, but we're going to keep it. Classic Cooper hand, mediocre keep. Hey, it's all good. It's all good. There's a lot of things going on Magic, so don't feel bad about getting something wrong. I get things wrong every time I play. I'll make some little mistake, or maybe sometimes a big one. Elvish Reclaimer, that's a pain. Yeah, that's right. They only changed the Cascade rule for Tybalt. Rattlechains. I think I go Rattlechains here. And if I go Rattlechains, am I supposed to attack with a 2/2 Mausoleum Wanderer? I could get the extra damage in. I think it's probably worth it. I don't think opponent's going to have anything that Rattlechains is going to be too effective against. It would potentially make the Mausoleum Wanderer a 2 to counter a spell, which is fine. But we're going to get in for the extra damage here. What did I say about blue cards? We have a lot of them. And I wish we could use them to counter the opponent's spells. Oh, with the lightning bolt here? Brutal. And they still get the Reclaimer if they want. So they can start ramping with their mana with the Reclaimer here. If they get what's the land? Oh, they're going to explore instead. Maybe they already have the that's the one, the flagstones. That's how they ramp with Reclaimer. Oh, sorry. I've faced this deck a few times, but I've never piloted it. I find that once you have actually like shuffled the deck and played it, you have a much better understanding of it rather than sitting across from the deck a few times. So let's see here. Supreme Phantom boost the Wanderer to a 3. We could Rattlechains. That's fine too. I think we'll just Rattlechains. I mean, it changes almost nothing, yeah. It would have been nice if we would have been able to counter the bolt if it targeted the Wanderer, but it didn't work out that way. Parole MTG, thanks for the follow, friend. Yeah, I do like all the different options that the opponent's deck has. Oh, damn, the Omnath here. Brutal. Dylan MTG, thanks for the follow, friend. Now, it looks like we could probably move this over a little bit more to make chat a little bit easier to see. Right there. Hoof to the head, thanks for the follow, friend. It looks like we're behind on this game here. That Omnath is doing quite a bit of work. Interesting. So could we actually trade and kill this thing? Good point, Islands. Shacklegeist could have been pretty nice. It would have been a way better blocker here, too. Then again, they would not have attacked, but whatever. We're going to trade. And they have another Reclaimer, of course. Okay, so what can we do here? This Omnath Elvish Reclaimer nonsense is quite a pain indeed. I guess we go Phantom Shacklegeist, do a bunch of damage, and then we can tap down their Omnath, so at least we're not getting attacked to death. Ah, Shackle can only block creatures with flying. That is not a line of text that I see very often, but that's good to know. That's true too. Double Phantom would survive a Lightning Bolt, which would have been a good reason to go the other way around. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 times for something to get through my thick head. Generally, when I make a really big mistake, that's something that I remember. I mean, if we tap Reclaimer, they just tap it in response. What? We just have no answer to that. I'm pretty sure that we have absolutely no answer to this. Okay, let's bring in Path to Exile, huh? Yeah, stupid Empyrean. What the hell? Alright, we'll bring these paths in. Opponent had a bunch of creatures that I wanted to get rid of that last game. And we're on the play. We got Force of Negation. We got 3 lands. We can even cast the Force of Negation. We'll keep this. What about D-Sphere for Bring to Light? We were talking about that. We considered it. I thought that it might be overboarding. Can't cost Force of Negation for the mana cost with these lands. That's true. We don't have double blue currently. So right now, the only way to cast Force of Negation is by discarding the Drogskol Captain. Not generally going to be interested in countering whatever they're doing this turn. Fighting over an Explore here doesn't really seem like the way to win. I would much rather counter a Bring to Light. Spell Queller is nice. I do like the Spell Queller quite a bit. Okay, let's attack for 2. Spell Queller gives us double counter magic. Alright, what do they got? This is a bit of a scary turn for the opponent here. And they have a lot of cards in hand, so they're really like taking their time considering what they want to play here. It looks like they're going to put out a Valky. If we allow that to resolve, then they're going to take the Apparition, so we can't apparate the Valky. I think we just have to quell this, unfortunately. And then we still have the Selfless Spirit to protect the Spell Queller. We have the Force of Negation to protect it. And we can use the Apparition to get rid of the Reclaimer. So all in all, I'm pretty satisfied with how this turn worked out. Oh, they have the Lightning Bolt, huh? So we could save it with a Selfless Spirit, or we could Force of Negation. I like saving it with a Selfless Spirit. I'm pretty sure that if they get the Valky back here, it actually comes back as a Tibalt. Oh, with the Rattlechains? Okay, so we have the Force of Negation pitching Rattlechains now, which means we get to use the Drogskol Captain to pump up our team. Give them Hexproof. I like that a lot. Opponent has 4 cards in hand, so they're still very threatening. Teferi. We got to counter this because they could bounce the Spell Queller. Nice. 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 Alright, we'll just play Drogskol Captain attack. Okay. This is our position. Opponent has 3 cards in hand. What can you do? Very scary position for us to be in. We're actually out of interaction. The only thing we have going for us is Hexproof on our other creatures, so it's going to be a little bit of trouble for them to get their Valky back. Gotta go. Thank you for the stream. Good luck with the league. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Have a nice day, and catch you next time. Okay, there's an Omnath. Omnath blocks Skyclave Apparition. And it also gains life. Oh, the other Supreme Phantom? That is so good. Is that just lethal now? I don't think it's quite lethal, but they have to block a 5/5 Skyclave Apparition. And we put them to 1. Giles with the math. It's almost like being good at math could be advantageous in Magic. That's scary. GG. double Valakut triggers. Gets rid of our Drogskol Captain. They still have one card in hand. If they can get rid of our Spell Queller here, I think they still die. Maths all day. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think that teaching kids Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons would be a fantastic way to engage them. Oh, what is this? The Misty Rainforest? That's brutal. But we still win anyway. Yeah, they weren't going to be able to fetch because they were at 1 life, so they could kill 1 creature and then we had them. Yes, this hand is good enough to keep. Turn 1 Vial, turn 2 Rattlechains, turn 3 Let's Go. Not the same kind of Let's Go as a turn 3 with Boros Prowess, but still a pretty good turn 3. Dependent on drawing a land, of course. Opponent has no companion. Oh, they actually go ahead and Force of Negation our Aether Vial. Okay. And they showed Growth Spiral, so it looks like we might be up against a very similar deck to the one that we just played. I don't think I want to change anything here. I'm probably just going to Rattlechains. We could maybe Shacklegeist. I think I want to Rattlechains. That'll give our spirits flash in the future. So yeah, let's get that Rattlechains down right away. With the bongo clown. Nice. Ren and 6. Okay. No way we can really kill that right now. But maybe we can do some fun stuff anyway. We can set up a Drogskol Captain save on the Rattlechains. Tron Walker and From the Crypt. Figured you two would be friends. Nice. Some people just don't get the Tron thing. That's okay. We'll go get Island here. And they get Plains. Please don't be a path. No path. The Seachrome Coast is not really what I wanted. I guess we could put down a Supreme Phantom. We send the Rattlechains at Ren and 6 just to get it off the board. And then we might as well play Supreme Phantom here, right? Get that extra point of damage in. Just hope they don't have a Wrath. Oh, blind. That is a nice line. I should have seen that. I've done that kind of line before in Boros Prowess. So I definitely missed that one. I wouldn't call it like a punt, but that was definitely subpar. being able to get that draw would have been pretty nice. But it does mean we do have 2 drops now. So we have access to Supreme Fountain and Selfless Spirit, which is super good. Oh, cool. Sorry, I was just distracted by Dylan. You're building some sort of Waste Knot list. That's cool. I loved Waste Knot when it was first spoiled. It was one of the few cards that I actually pre-ordered. Just because I thought the card was so cool. Alright, we're going to hold Selfless Spirit back. Just in case they have some way to sweep the board. We'll keep it as a surprise because it has flash. We can use it as a way to potentially save the Drogskol Captain. Okay, this looks like a Bring to Light for 4. Yep. We don't have any way to counter that, so resolves. Supreme Verdict. GG, opponent. Okay. So we're playing up against another Bring to Light deck. So we're going to want to do something similar to last time. We're going to want the Force of Negation for sure. The Path to Exile seemed quite strong last time. It seemed like a card that we actually needed. Maybe we'll just play 2 Path instead of the full 3. Yes, it is. The second Niv to Light deck in a row. It isn't unreasonable to face Bring to Light 3 times or more in a league if you have a winning record. Deck is that good, huh? So what did we get rid of last time? We got rid of, what was it? Some number of Shacklegeist and Sailors? Oops. Maybe like that. Oh, no kidding. Managed to top 8 GP. That is very impressive. Yeah. Yeah, we keep this. Alright, what do we get off the top? Drogskol Captain, not bad. Let's start with Aether Vial and pass back. Okay, opponent plays land and passes. Looks like we'll just play Supreme Phantom and pass unless we draw like a Rattlechains or something. And we draw exactly Rattlechains. Cool. Dylan MtG, you have a stream? That's pretty cool to hear. Did you put stuff up on YouTube as well? I think we just play Cavern of Souls pass here, hold up Rattlechains. No, I respect that, Dylan. It's not something that you generally do. You don't generally talk about your own stream during someone else's, but if the streamer goes ahead and asks you about it, that's a different story. Icefang Quaddle. That is a pain. That is going to be able to block our creatures and kill them. Oh well, not much we can really do about it this turn. But wasting your time watching it? Oh, that's awesome. Why are we not playing Bant? Bant is a pretty good deck, but Azorius is just as good. So, I mean, realistically, Bant gives you Hierarch and Collected Company, whereas Azorius gives you a more solid mana base, as well as Shacklegeist, which realistically isn't much to write home about. Alright, so we can Skyclave Apparition to get rid of that Coatl so that it can't block. Ooh, try not to sneeze in your ears. Chat is starting to embrace the greed. The greed is real. Do you just attack first? I don't really want to lose my Rattlechains to their Coatl, because they can go get the third Snowland. And I kind of like keeping the Rattlechains back here. Another Coatl? Give me a break. Nothing we can do about it. So they can fetch here and trade if they want. We'll see what they do first. We might Supreme Phantom here to force them to go get the Snowland. Or we could hold back our Rattlechains and just let them trade anyway. I mean, they're going to trade, right? Regardless. Hoof to the Head got their second COVID-19 shot yesterday. Congratulations, Hoof to the Head. Way to do your part. Mr. Giles, that's a good question. Having the second Rattlechains, I'm fine with losing the first one. Rattlechains is a very important part of this deck. To be able to give all of our creatures flash. But we also can't just be sitting back and waiting. Opponent has 6 cards. They're going to have something to do here, but we have to present pressure. We give the opponent infinite time, they will win. What are the good and bad matchups for this deck? Well, Tron was definitely a problem earlier. Generally, we're going to have a pretty good time against some of the decks that are going to be using a lot of spells because we have a lot of counter magic. So I like Spirits versus some control lists versus combo. And then also being able to fly overhead of a lot of what the opponents are doing is pretty sweet. Alright, we're going to attack in for 2 here. And we're going to leave up Spell Queller, Drogskol Captain. Basically everything in our hand is available for us to play. Spirits being more synergistic than humans, we have to keep our creatures alive. That means if we can keep creatures alive, we would rather do it. I mean, that's very fair. We could Spell Quell this growth spiral. I don't really like that. I think that we let the growth spiral resolve, and we try and counter something more important. Like maybe a Lightning Helix. We could Drogskol Captain to counter that. That feels pretty good. This looks like Bring to Light. Tapping 5 mana. It is Bring to Light. Okay, that resolves. Spell Queller cannot counter a 5, but it's cast with 4 colors, so whatever they're going to get, Spell Queller can counter that. Unless it's Valki. Cannot counter this. But we can play Spectral Sailor, Supreme Phantom. They're probably going to want to get rid of Drogskol Captain here. Unfortunately, we do not have another Rattlechains to save it, or another Drogskol Captain. Yeah, that happens. And they attack, and we eat their creature for free. Oh, this only becomes a 2/2. Okay, we don't eat their creature for free. We do get to block it, though. And we also get to kill their Tibalt. Yeah, good point, Donut. Alright, let's set up the Aether Vial here. Always know, always yield. Save a little bit of time off our clock. And we get Shacklegeist. Shacklegeist, not too much help here. Let's just go ahead and kill the Tibalt and deal them some damage. Hold up Spell Queller. Attack Tibalt, attack them, attack them. Surprise Spectral Sailor is good enough? Only barely. It has flash, it has flying, it allows us to draw a card. It is just barely good enough. Bring to Light to kill 1 creature wasn't a bad move. They also got a pair of cards into Exile here, which they're going to be able to play with their emblem. So their Bring to Light was kill 1 card, draw 2 cards, which is pretty good. Flying Man with draw a card, fire. Ba-da-da-da-da-da, fire. Da-da-da-da. Six, 7, 8, 9, 1 off lethal. They can't play Coatl because it wasn't exiled with Tibalt. Oh, okay. How did we end up exiling this Coatl then? It was the Skyclave Apparition that got rid of it. Okay. Well, that changes things entirely. Ooh, what's this? Cryptic Command. I guess we just go ahead and Spell Quell that. What you got, opponent? You got a whole bunch of scoop? Oh, we get another Spell Queller off the top. Deck is kind. Alright, put him to 1. And they scoop. Excellent start. This hand looks fine. We'll keep it. Tiger Sappy just downloaded MTGO. Well, congratulations and welcome to the magic. Seems like a pretty good time to get into Modo with a lot of the paper events not really firing. Okay, so opponent has Ancestral Vision. That's not something you see every day. Let's put Aether Vial down. And Seachrome Coast Aether Vial doesn't give away the game yet. We could be humans. Have you tried the Goblins? That deck looks sweet for tribal combo. I have not tried Goblins in Modern, but I have played Mogwarts, the Goblin combo deck that is in Pauper. I have 2 leagues of that deck up on my YouTube if anyone's interested in checking that out. This is the Electro-Balance deck, probably. Ah, I see. Oh, the Rattlechains, very nice. All right, so we're going to hold here. We'll play Rattlechain Spectral Sailor at the end of their turn, and then we can start putting Supreme Phantoms in and really start clocking them. We might want to just put Selfless Spirit in, but I think that we might just have to be careful about putting our creatures onto the board. If opponent is on Electro-Balance, they have access to some pretty powerful sweepers. As foretold. Okay, there it is. That is scary, and we have no way to answer it, so they're just going to be able to start playing their zeros. Nurkus. Yes, absolutely. If we get the Azorius draw lands, we would be playing those. Not guaranteed a 4 of, at the very least a 2 of. But it would probably be 4. I'm in Australia. We've got in-person events running here. Wow, that's lucky. We've actually just recently gone into lockdown here in Nova Scotia again. So we're not really getting any of that. Moorland Haunt. Alright, we're going to play a Supreme Phantom, and I guess we'll just leave the Selfless Spirit back just in case. I am definitely excited to see what comes out of Modern Horizons. The last Modern Horizons was very exciting. And this is about to go off, isn't it? That's scary. They're going to draw so many cards next turn. Do we have enough damage to kill them? Almost. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We actually have Exacxies if they don't have interaction. Or maybe even a little bit more. Because I don't think I counted the Supreme Phantom here as attacking, just these 3. Five different events over 3 days. Lucky. Is there a release date for Modern Horizons 2? I don't know it personally. I think it has been announced. Thank you, Trigger Sappy. June 11th. That's not very far away at all. Alright, opponent is taking their time on this turn. We do not resent them that. You have all this time on your chess clock to be able to use it. Okay, so they're going to petty theft on our Aether Vial here during their turn. Let's just go ahead and use it to put Supreme Phantom into play. And maybe, hopefully, we can kill them when we untap. If they have Gargadon, it would be bad. Yup. I thought I noticed an accent. Are you in Halifax? I am in Halifax. There's the Restore Balance. Womp womp. So we lose everything. Sacrifice all creatures you control. No. And they're going to get to Ancestral Vision right after that happened. Jerks. Not having any kind of interaction for the Restore Balance. Brutal. We really needed a Spell Queller there. Oh, and there's the Gargadon. Double Gargadon. And another Ancestral Vision suspended. Interesting. Do they have another... Oh. Okay. So yeah, they have another Restore Balance here. And we don't even get to do anything cool with Selfless Spirit here because this says Sacrifice. So protecting our creatures isn't going to matter. Yeah, done. So we have nothing. And opponent has As Foretold. So I think we're dead. Well, we get land here. Let's, Fighting it out is kind of silly, but we got time on the clock. Let's see what we can do. And more so, let's see what the opponent can do. This game won't take very long, and then we'll move on to game 2. But the opponent has no cards in hand. Vision is still 3 turns off. So it's not totally impossible that we just draw gas into gas into gas and get something done. It's already down 2 Restore Balances. We got this. We'll do what we can. You love As Foretold. It's a really cool card. Oh, and they get to play the Brazen Borrower for free because of this As Foretold. So I guess it's not just cards in your hand, huh? It's just any card that you could cast. Okay, cool. We'll go ahead and hit 6 here. No reason to spend time off of our clock. Luconis81, thanks for the follow, friend. Not very balanced. But they cast Restore Balance twice. How is that not balanced? It seems like that should be the most balanced. Another Aether Vial. It's pretty unbalanced to be able to restore balance. When you're restoring balance for no mana, that is unbalanced. As was foretold. Alright, let's see what we got off the top of the deck here. Yes. Yes. Seachrome Coast. Alright, whatever. Deck gave us all the resources we needed to cast spells in like 7 turns from now. Okay, so opponent's doing Restore Balance stuff. We're going to want Force of Negation. Is Damping Sphere good here? Kind of seems mediocre. Pre-release packs. Nice. I think that's a pretty good idea. Modern Horizons was such a fun format to draft with. Being able to do sealed seems like a great idea. So, do I bring in Damping Sphere for this matchup? It seems like it could do some work. Do you ever visit Unfiltered or Good Robot? I do. I've been to Good Robot a few times. The Devil's Backbone is one of my favorite beers of all time. Okay, Trigger Sappy heading to bed. Well, thank you very much for joining us. And maybe I'll see you again sometime soon. Good night. Did a draft at Good Robot a while back. That is awesome. Draft. Have a draft while you draft. I think that it was the deck box that did something with Good Robot. Alright, so not hearing anything about the Damping Sphere here. Not sure that it's good enough to bring in. I'm going to leave it out for now. And we'll just take out probably some Shacklegeist. Gonna want... Do we want the Selfless Spirit? They have a lot of ways to kill our creatures that Selfless Spirit just doesn't do anything against. So maybe we'll keep the Shacklegeist because they're blue and they cast Force of Negation. Keep this. We have Force of Negation to be able to counter some of their important spells. And then Nurkus, Unfiltered. Is that the Chain Yard? I know that the Chain Yard has like 2 or 3 names, depending if you're talking about the restaurant or the brewery or whatever. Sad Robot equals Solemn. Good Robot, Bad Robot, Solemn Simulacrum. I guess we just put down the Selfless Spirit here. We're going to want to keep the Supreme Phantom as a way to cast Force of Negation. So we'll play the Selfless Spirit so at least we have a clock. And we have a way to counter one of their spells. Okay, then I haven't been to that place then. There are quite a few options as far as breweries go in Nova Scotia. Okay, so they have the Abrade for the Aether Vial. I don't think we're supposed to counter that. We just let that resolve. Shacklegeist. So we could go Aether Vial, Supreme Phantom, and then hold up Force of Negation using Shacklegeist. I guess we just go get Island here. Oh, thanks, Nurkus. I definitely enjoy checking out a new brewery every once in a while. If anyone is looking for recommendations in Halifax, Stillwell is one of the best places you can go to get craft beer in Halifax. Guess that it's an As Foretold hand and not Electro-Dominance hand, because we would probably just be dead. Now, unfortunately, they are just going to keep on killing our creatures, but we can't really save them. We have to keep this Force of Negation for something far more terrifying. Cavern of Souls. Alright, so Force of Negation can be hard cast, which means we might be able to actually put this Shacklegeist down onto the battlefield next turn. Definitely interested in countering that when it comes off the stack. Don't want to let the opponent draw 3 cards. Needs red for Electro. Opponent does have red. Oh, another Supreme Phantom. Not bad. Okay, pass back. That's out of bolt range if I've ever seen it. That's right. I think we counter the Ancestral Vision. It's kind of tough, though. Like, maybe we're supposed to counter whatever they put down next. Because they already have 5 cards in hand, so they have a ton of resources. If we counter the Ancestral Vision, they're just going to be able to play whatever they have in hand anyway. So maybe we just counter whatever is good instead of the Ancestral Vision. Fibble with it, thinking the exact same thing. They already have the resources, so let's cut them off of the spells that they're casting. Anger of the Gods. Okay. That resolves. Puts them to 7. And then they try and Lightning Bolt, and we Force of Negation the Bolt. Okay, let's go Lord off the top, please. 1 Lord. Skyclave Apparition. It is something we could put into play immediately with Aether Vial. Do we want to put the Shacklegeist into play and expose it? I don't think so, right? Because we already have lethal here. So maybe we just leave the Shacklegeist in hand? Serum Visions, sure. The visions aren't necessarily what I'm afraid of. It's everything else. We got another land here. Gargadon exiled. And they're passing. Okay, this is good for us. I wonder if they made a modern format where you couldn't block, would it change? Think about how much better the Boros Blitz deck would be if you didn't have to run Lead the Stampede. Or not Lead the Stampede, sorry. Crash Through. Always no. Always yield. Okay, they have a thing. Oh, they're going to do some Gargadon stuff here. This is scary. Yeah, I think you're right. There's the Electro-Dominance. Nothing we can do. And there's Restore Balance. So that's going to get rid of our board as well as our lands. Nothing we can do about the lands, unfortunately. Nothing here has flash. So we're just going to lose basically our entire board. We don't lose artifacts, though, right? Lands, creatures, and discard. Okay, so they have to discard a card. Sacrifice all lands. Sacrifice all creatures. How many counters does Gargadon have left? 5. Okay. We draw for turn. And we have Skyclave Apparition to come down during their end step. So maybe this Aether Vial is all we need. I got everything I need. Almost. Cool. I think we'll run it back as is. I'm liking the potential of Damping Sphere more and more. But I'm still not sure that it's better than a creature. Okay. Don't overboard, thanks Slayer. And thanks Robin Hood for keeping me hydrated. How are you always positive? Not always, but it is a lot easier when I'm playing Magic the Gathering to be a positive person. I think if you check the last Yawgmoth League that I played, I put it up on YouTube, and you can tell that I was getting very, very frustrated during that league. Dig site is 1.2. Nice. That's half a chest right there. We're gonna keep this. We have Force of Negation. Always angry when playing Pauper. Pauper is so grindy. If you're not ready for it, it is whew. Trying to play versus Tron can just be such a hassle. Alright, so they have the Abrade for the Mausoleum Wanderer. Let's just go ahead and counter it just for kicks. It doesn't actually do anything. Whatever. It's because I wasn't drinking water? That's gotta be it. Feel like you would love or hate Pauper if you played it? I mean, as long as that or can also mean both, then absolutely. Because you will love and hate it. At least that's how I feel about the format. Alright, we're going to hold up Rattlechains here. And we'll be able to put that into play at the end of the opponent's turn. And we also have Force of Negation if they try to put something out like As Foretold. I think we get rid of the Supreme Phantom here so that we can hold up Spell Queller. Oh, blind. You lost 50 ticks last week playing Ponza and Jund leagues. Every hand I mulled to 6 or 5. That's a shame. I mean, we all get those bad beats, those unfortunate runs. Sorry to hear that happens. Hopefully you can get over that bad luck right quick and get back into winning. We could just apparitioned it. We could have, although that would have allowed them to potentially play a 0, which is terrifying. Drogskol? Pauper is probably the format I would recommend to anyone who is starting to get into Magic. Absolutely agree with that. Oh, is this Electro? It is. Damn. What do they get with Electro? Ancestral Vision. Brutal. Well, that refills their hand. Fortunately, we do have Spell Queller here. And we can start making spirits if they don't have anything for us to counter. Unfortunately, Skyclave Apparition no longer has flash. Still got 10 counters on that. That's fine. Oh, Pauper is definitely competitive. And that's one of the things that I really appreciate about it. One of the things that drew me to it in the first place is that I wanted to play competitive Magic, but I didn't have the money. I am terrified of Moorland Haunt here because they played that Steam Vents untapped. So they could Electro-Dominance, hit the Drogskol Captain for 2, and then play a card out of their hand. I'm not going to let that happen. We're just going to untap. Hold up Spell Queller here. Pauper Slivers. Love that. Smack. Okay, go ahead, opponent. Noli, thanks for the follow, friend. Plays Islet. They put 1 card top, 1 card bottom with the Serum Visions. And it looks like they're just passing back. Okay, again, Moorland Haunt. Very scary to activate here. If we activate the Moorland Haunt, we don't have Spell Queller up. So I'm going to pass the turn. And hopefully we draw another land here so that we can do both. Still mad they banned Gush. I mean, Gush was so strong. Okay, Electro-Dominance for 2. Fortunately, they did not pay the final mana to make this 5. So it's a 4 casting cost spell, which means Spell Queller can counter it. We're in the upkeep, so let's not tap the Moorland Haunt. Cool. And we get Shacklegeist. I guess we could play Shacklegeist. We don't really have anything else to do. So let's see, our opponent's going to 7, so yeah, the Shacklegeist give us lethal here. Let's put it into play and hope the opponent isn't able to interact with our board. Your go, opponent. What do you got? Okay, that's still at 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have enough lands to bring in the Gargadon into play. I've already hit 6 there, it looks like. Okay. We only have 1 card in hand, so there's not really much we could do. Interesting how they tapped all that with the Scalding Tarn on the stack like that. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Electro-Dominance at us? Oh, that's terrifying. Oh, and now they're going to sacrifice everything to the Gargadon. And with that Scalding Tarn still on the stack, that's going to allow them to have a land in play after the Restore Balance. Oh, damn. Yeah, that's, I mean, nothing we could do there. We had no way to interact with that, unfortunately. So, good games, but we are not getting a trophy today. GG. This hand is fine. We have 1 into 2. We'll keep. Ooh, looks like we're up against the Boros Prowess list again. We had a hard time with this list the first time we fought it. Opponent is just so fast. Not a good matchup for spirits, I would agree. Oh, the Apparition is nice, but we can't cast it yet. I think we probably just play the Selfless Spirit here. I think it gives us better blocks. But the Soulscar Mage makes the Selfless Spirit kind of pointless. Tough choice. Alright, we'll play the Selfless Spirit. I don't really want to put Supreme Phantom down into a Lightning Bolt. And I'm also interested in keeping the Spectral Sailor back as a blocker here. We're trying to stem the bleeding that the opponent is going to put on us. If we can get this Apparition down, we're going to start to be in a good position. Another basic mountain. So they don't think we're playing Path to Exile in the main. You would have attacked with the Pirate Spirit, that's fair. I intend on blocking and sacking to prevent a ton of damage. Turn 3 is a very, very frightening turn from Boros Prowess. Okay, so they're going to gut shot the Selfless Spirit. I think I actually would have liked to see gut shot on Spectral Sailor. Because the Soulscar Mage is in play. Okay, so yeah, they just have it all anyway. That does mean that those spells weren't going at our face, but we're still going to be taking a huge hit here. 10 damage, and that is because we had two creatures out to absorb the damage from these spells here. If these had gone at our face, we would be pretty dead. As is, we're still not looking very good. I think we have to play the Supreme Phantom and just hope that it's good enough to block. We really needed to get a land there. Basic Plains would have been the perfect draw. Or Cavern of Souls. Okay, they are attacking. So we'll block. Gotta prevent that damage. Oh, too bad you couldn't splash red and add Deflecting Palm. I am a pretty big fan of that card. Deflecting Palm is a really good card. Opponent's probably playing it. I don't know if they would bring it in for this matchup, but they're almost certainly playing the card. I'm just going to play Supreme Phantom again. And pass with a pair of 2/4s. If opponent doesn't draw instants, then we can at least like block their creatures or whatever. So this looks pretty good. They're probably not even going to attack this turn. Let's get land off top, please, so we can Skyclave Apparition. Very nice. And what do we get rid of here? Probably the Soulscar Mage, I think. That is one big apparition. 4/4. Like Deflecting Palm against Boggles? Yeah, me too. Deflecting Palm versus Boggles is pretty good. Seeing as how it says chosen source instead of target. Pretty sweet. Okay. So we can actually put down Drogskol Captain here, or we can Rattlechains and Selfless Spirit. Kind of like Rattlechains, Selfless Spirit into Drogskol. Can we actually, like, kill them next turn? I don't know. Do we attack with anything here? We might actually attack. Because we have 2 creatures coming down. So we could probably attack with one thing pretty safely. Yeah, they will draw their out, so we do have to start getting aggressive. I'm hoping that we can get some good blocks this turn and then Drogskol and kill them next turn. Oh, Light Scribe. If they had any spells to play, we would be in so much trouble with that Light Scribe. Are they attacking with anything? Probably not. No attacks. Alright, let's go get planes. They have lethal next turn anyway. Oh, we have lethal next turn. Got a lot of damage. But are you counting the Skyclave Apparition? Because the Apparition doesn't fly. I haven't actually counted yet. It is a lot of damage, though. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Off by 1. Off by 1! 6, 10, 11... Sorry, 6, 10, 11, 15, 16. It's exactly 16 damage. That sucks. I guess we just hold up Spell Queller then. Yeah, we'll hold up Spell Queller here. Still in a ton of trouble, but I think we might get out of this alive. Hey, blind! Awesome. That's exactly what I ended up doing. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this Lava Dart here with Spell Queller, which is targeting us. And we have the Selfless Spirit to block the Lurrus, and then all of our creatures gain Indestructible. So yeah, let's Quell. Yeah. Sometimes it works out that way. We have the same idea. Cool. This should be good. We have blocks, Selfless Spirit, keeps our creatures healthy, and opponent concedes. Got super, super lucky. Opponent only had 3. I guess 4 if you include the Lava Dart. They only had 4 spells. They had more creatures than spells this game. And they flooded out. So we got crazy lucky that time. Alright, let's see here. We're going to want all the Forge-Tenders and all the Path to Exiles. We could bring in Remorseful Cleric. I don't think we want Rest in Peace. Damping Sphere is kind of interesting. Thanks for keeping me hydrated. Now, I think we want to take out Spell Queller in this matchup. It's too easy for them to get their spell back. And then I think probably Spectral Sailor is the next worst card. Maybe Aether Vial is not too great. I think we'll go with this. Yeah, this is fine. We got 2 Path to Exile. Keep this. We're going to be taking a bit of damage from this Swift Spear. I'm not too interested in Path to Exiling it immediately. I would much rather play this Mausoleum Wanderer. Ooh, with the Lava Dart, targeting the Wanderer. What a pain. Okay. My favorite Path to Exile is the Arthurian Legend version that Rebecca Gay did. I thought that one is super cool. Well, that was a lot of damage. Getting in under Path to Exile. Well done, opponent. Ooh, Eidolon of Rhetoric. Or Rhetoric, however you pronounce it. Very cool card. If this is one, we'll take it. If they want to do a bunch of prowess stuff, we'll path it. Otherwise, I'm putting Rattlechains into play. I guess they have Lava Dart to kill the Rattlechains. Damn it. Oh well. If they want to get rid of one of their mountains to kill my Rattlechains here, we'll let that happen. It's not getting them prowess. It's not dealing us damage, so that's fine. Yep, this happens. It's fine. Totally fine. We expected it. The DCI path? I guess so, yeah. Yes, yeah, it is. I ended up getting a few of those. Pretty big fan of that. I'm also a pretty big fan of Rebecca Gay's art. Yeah, we'll play the Shacklegeist and hold up Path to Exile. So we have a blocker for the Swift Spear, and if Swift Spear starts to get big, we can path it. Okay, they have the Abrade here for the Shacklegeist. Nothing we can do about that. Let it resolve. They decide to do it during our turn, so they don't get the extra prowess trigger for that. But they do have 2 cards in hand, so they could go ahead and do some nasty stuff anyways. I really don't like pathing one here, because that gives them mana for the Lurrus. But I have the extra path for the other Lurrus anyway. Let's go ahead and get rid of one of these Swift Spears. Supreme Phantom. Okay, we're going to put the Supreme Phantom down this turn. Either that, or we could just hold up Moorland Haunt. Well, let's put the Supreme Phantom down. No, I'm going to do the Moorland Haunt thing. We have Moorland Haunt plus Path to Exile. We're going to do that. We can take 1 damage from Swift Spear. If they do prowess stuff, we can path it. Okay, it looks like they're going to put the Lurrus in hand. Yep. They should have done that after combat. Now we're fairly certain we're just taking 1 damage. And they're not even attacking with it. Doesn't really matter which one we hit from the graveyard. We're not going to be bringing any of these spirits back except by Moorland Haunt. Mausoleum Wanderer. Okay. So we can go Wanderer, Supreme Phantom, hold up Path. We could go Wanderer, hold up Moorland Haunt or Path. I kind of like Wanderer, Supreme Phantom, hold up Path. Let's see here. You would have use the Rattlechains at end of their turn, so you could path, then have Captain path up next turn. In case they try and kill it, you could protect it. Oh, that would have been a good one too. Okay, attack for 2. Play the Mausoleum Wanderer. Mausoleum Wanderer gives us some form of protection versus their spells, being able to potentially counter something, not like a path, unfortunately, but just about anything else. And we can go get a basic with this. I think we'll go get Island. We have plenty of white mana. Another Swift Spear, so we're going to have to be killing one of these, unfortunately. And they are attacking with both, so we are going to have to take 1. So if they have a Lightning Bolt, we go to 3. No, if they have Lightning Bolt, we can counter it. So we would only go to 6. Alright, we're going to take it. Okay, we just take 1. And they have a Lumimancer. Okay, and they only have Lurrus in hand, and no cards in the graveyard they can actually play with the Lurrus. 1, 2, 3, we have enough mana to Moorland Haunt along with the Drogskol Captain. That seems pretty good. Attack for 5. And we have 2 blockers if we need them. Moorland Haunt will get us another 2/2 Spirit, and we have the Drogskol Captain. Nice. So this hand here is fine. It's mediocre, but we have 1, 2, 3, so we'll keep. Let's see if we can get the 4/1 today. You got a slow day at work today? It's a good thing that you have work available. I know that some people don't have that option right now. Fortunately, I'm one of the lucky ones too. So I guess we just, we probably just play the Mausoleum Wanderer here. I'm going to play the Cavern of Souls Mausoleum Wanderer. You would call this a mull with an unknown opponent, huh? Oh yeah, I mean some jobs, especially with the market now accepting that people are going to be working from home. Some jobs have become even more wide open, become way easier to be able to get because, you know, like you can apply for a job anywhere in the world as long as you have the skills that that person is looking for now. Oh, the first mull. Yeah, we began with 7 this game. So let's see here. We probably just play Shacklegeist here. We don't really have any other better play. Ah, the lag. Another thing that we have to deal with quite a bit on Twitch. A little bit unfortunate when, especially where we like a little bit of backseating here. So comments might come in, you know, like 2 turns behind. Womp womp, oh well. We're going to go Spectral Sailor Shacklegeist here. So we can put the Shacklegeist into play and then hold on the Spectral Sailor. And what do we get here? Probably Plains? I'm thinking the Plains here. Volakut Titan? Yeah, I think this is classic Gruul Titan. Here comes the Dryad. No, it's Chandra. That is a surprise. Okay, maybe I have absolutely no idea what the opponent is doing. But I know that I'm going to kill that Chandra. Take that, Planeswalker. Alright, so we don't exactly have good options here for the rest of our turn. I think I'm just going to play Selfless Spirit and pass. Could be some kind of red-green prison. The scream face. What are they going to do? They got 4 cards in hand. Is this another Anger of the Gods? No, this is the Dryad. So we're going to be able to apparate that when it comes back to our turn. Oh, the Drogskol Captains. I wish I could get those into play right now. But we got to apparate that Dryad. Cool. So we're heading on to turn 6 here. Opponent just found their 5th land. And they had a Dryad of the Elysian Grove and a Sakura Tribe Elder. So opponent is definitely struggling with their lands here. Anger of the Gods, we have Selfless Spirit to protect most of our board. Double Anger main. Damn. Oh, we got Spell Queller? I kind of want to hold up Spell Queller instead of putting down the Drogskol Captain, honestly. Although this is bad if they go Titan. If they go Titan, we're better off with a Drogskol Captain. But we should have played the Drogskol Captain already if we were going to play it. So let's just hold up the Spell Queller. They have Explore here. Am I supposed to actually counter that? I don't think so, right? We'll let that happen. Let them draw a card. And counter the next thing. They don't have another thing. Okay. If they play Titan, we probably lose anyways. Probably. But maybe not. Because we fly over, we play Spell Queller and then Drogskol Captain. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's actually Xaxes. I think we might win this anyway. Because these things just come into play tapped. And they have a forest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess they could go get Volakut Mountain. And that keeps them in the game. Yeah, so they get 1 target with the Volakut. Kill the Skyclave Apparition here. Actually, killing Skyclave Apparition, that was going to get blocked anyway. Do we still have lethal? I think we do. No, we don't. The Drogskol Captain counterattack. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put them to 2. And then they get to go double Volakut on their turn. Damn it. Kind of let this one fall away. Rattlechains. Is that going to be good enough? We could protect one of our spirits with a Rattlechains. We're going to take 6. 6 and 6 is 12, so maybe the Rattlechains gets us to survive this? Or do we just play the Drogskol Captain into Drogskol Captain? Shacklegeist would have been nuts, you're right. Shacklegeist would have been the perfect draw. So the question is it worth it to just go Drogskol? Or should we Rattlechains and try and save one of the spirits that way? Captain? Probably Captain. Just go Captain attack. Alright, your turn, opponent. Am I dead? Because they can do 15 damage pretty easily, and that's just with the board. So almost anything else is lethal. And if they get Valakut Mountain and have another mountain, that's probably lethal. Okay, that is what they do. They get Valakut Mountain. Probably kill Drogskol, do 3 to us, would be my guess. Or they just do everything to us and they have another land in hand and kill us. Regardless, I don't know that there's any way we could have played this any better. Okay, it's all coming at us, so they probably just have lethal here. This is 9, we go to 2. I guess we could block. We could block the illusion here. And this puts us to 5. So we still lose to double land. Please let that block be enough. There was a turn you didn't spend any mana. You're right, Devilish Greg. We were holding up Spell Queller and it didn't really do much. So we could have cast the Spell Queller there and then cast Drogskol Captain and put up more pressure. We might have actually won this game already. Search for Tomorrow. Not dead yet. No, that is death. They have the double Valakut triggers. Okay. That is death. Good game. Okay, so Damping Sphere is actually not going to be too great versus this opponent because they're not playing any of the lands that produce more than one type of mana. We have Force of Negation, which will counter Scape Shift, which we're going to want. And we have Path to Exile, and that's what we have to bring in. We want to keep all of our Selfless Spirits. We want to keep our Shacklegeists. We could probably get rid of some number of Rattlechains and Sailors. All right, let's bounce back and win this game, huh? I wonder, maybe if I had Spell Queller that Explore. Don't you want Rattlechains over Path since they're a Bolt deck? Interesting. The Rattlechains does seem pretty good versus Lightning Bolt. On the other hand, Path to Exile to remove a Titan could mean everything. One land, two lands actually. Two lands, all 3 drops. Nope, we have a 2-drop in Supreme Phantom. We're going to keep this. Not great, but we're going to keep it. You did the wrong thing. Did the wrong thing wrong. Do better. Once they resolve the Titan, it's usually too late. I mean, as we saw last time, if we had had a path for that Titan, we would have been fine. A video call as painful? Not too sure what you mean by that one, handsome. Coda time! Thanks for the follow, friend. Audrey, oh, I remember what you're talking about now. That's right. You were telling me about how Audrey had, Lightning Bolt on her Supreme Phantom. That works. How Audrey had a call with the classmates because school wasn't in today. Or probably all this week. Farseek results. I mean, personally, I didn't think that kids should be going back to school at all this year, but I understand that that is very difficult to manage between the kids needing someone to look after them, and also like their education needs to move forward. On the other hand, how important is their safety? Kind of like just playing Drogskol Captain here, holding up Force of Negation, and then playing second Drogskol. Path wouldn't have been enough since land would have triggered Valakut, but they wouldn't have been able to get the second Valakut. They would have only had the one. Here's Chandra, so we're going to Force of Negation that. And then we'll play second Drogskol Captain. And hopefully they don't have Anger. I'm also going to stay at 20 life here instead of playing the Aether Vial. It's been a little while since Scape Shift has necessarily needed the opponent to be at 18 life, but it doesn't hurt for it to be a little bit harder for the opponent to kill us. When are we doing a hot tub stream? Maybe after I get the new place. What about Disallow? Would that have worked? I know it wasn't in your sideboard. Disallow, is that the one that you return an island to counter a spell? Is that right? Okay, so they're going for Summoner's Pact here. Nothing we can do about that. It's a multi-function counter. Oh, I see. Counter target spell, activated ability, or triggered ability. So it's a cancel that also works on abilities. Very cool. Okay, so they have the Dryad. Nothing we can do to interact with that, unfortunately. And it's quite a clock. Or rather, we don't have a good clock here. It's going to take more than 2 turns to kill the opponent unless we get another Lord. So, depending... Oh, what a draw. What a draw. Okay. Opponent needs Scapeshift or Titan, but they actually have to pay for Summoner's Pact this turn, so that might be GG, and we might be going to game 3. It will counter one ability, right. It won't stop the entire Valakut string. It would counter one Valakut trigger. Oh, pay no heed? I mean, that would work, technically. Yeah, it's, every trigger is separate. It's not like Storm, where you have to worry about one thing and then the whole thing goes off of that one trigger. It's actually, 6 triggers, separate triggers, going onto the stack at the same time. Okay, so that one worked out pretty well. Let's run it back as is. Resubmit. And head into the final game of the final match of the final league of the stream. This hand is mediocre, but we're going to keep it. Hey, it's all good. Tunnel Ignis. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, if that player had another land enter the battlefield under the control this turn, Tunnel Ignis deals 3 damage to that player. Oh, what a counter. That'll show him for playing Scapeshift. Mausoleum Wanderer, go. We might be interested in countering whatever they're doing this turn. It's a lightning bolt. We'll counter it anyway. Mark of Asylum. I don't know that one. And it's not coming up yet. Come on, MTG bot, do better. We'll just play the Shacklegeist and pass. Opponent played Mountain and passes. MTG bot does that sometimes. Okay, so we got a Cavern of Souls, which is an untapped source. We can just put the Drogskol Captain down. I think that's our best option, honestly. Because our hand is kind of garbage. So let's just get aggressive. Alright, opponent only has 2 cards in hand, going up to 3 now. Did you mulligan heavily, opponent? Oh, the anger of the gods. Opponent mulligan to 4 cards. I mean, that was a very good anger of the gods, so that does bring them right back into the game. We're going to put the Moorland Haunt down here so that we can get a 1-1, and then we'll play Horizon Canopy next turn so we can draw a card with it. Ban the MTG bot. That's right. Mark of Asylum. Prevent all non-combat damage to be dealt to creatures. Unfortunate. Aether Vial. Come on, deck. You can do better than this. Let's go ahead and draw a card. Supreme Phantom is better. Okay. Yeah, I'm into playing that. Oh, what? They have the Lightning Bolt for the Supreme Phantom? Yep. That does mean we'll be able to make a new 1-1 next turn. And I think I'm just going to put down the Aether Vial instead of holding up Path here. Not too interested in holding up Path for any reason. Opponent's board is garbage. 62 viewers today. Thank you. Oh, Mr. Giles, well, thank you very much for coming in today. And I'll catch you another time, bud. Have a good day. So let's see here. Use Aether Vial ability. Yes. And we get another land off the top. Wonderful. Alright, I'm going to play the Hallowed Fountain tapped. And pass back. Holding up the Moorland Haunt. Thanks, handsome. Alright. Doubled our clock. Force of Negation, not bad, actually. Unfortunately, we don't have any other ways to increase our clock here. We just have our 2 1/1 spirits, but we have the counterspell for when they put something big and threatening onto the board, and we have the Path to Exile to get rid of green creatures. So I'm hoping we may manage to get this game here. Alpine Co. MTG with the raid. Thank you, friend. What were you playing? What format? What deck? Let us know. We let the Search for Tomorrow resolve here. Thanks for the follow, friend. Explore. I think we let that resolve as well. Ugh. Heron Zabal, thanks for the follow, friend. Alright, we don't have too many good options here. Let's just crack the Strand. We'll go to 19, and we'll get another land out of our deck, so we don't draw it later. No creatures, unfortunately, so we cannot make any spirits with a Haunt. Put the final counter onto the Aether Vial. Oh, Drogskol Captain, yes. That increases the clock. And we still have Force of Negation mana up. Although, if they put down a Titan, that's pretty bad. Okay, it's a Dryad. Nothing we can do about that. That would have been a better option, handsome. Damn it. I guess we can path the Dryad and then the Valakuts don't work? Yeah, okay. We can path the Dryad and the Valakuts don't work. Doc Needle, well, I'm glad that you were able to join us. Greer World. Again, you were right. As with Handsome, I should have vialed the Drogskol Captain down there. Fortunately, because we Path to Exile the Dryad. Oh, damn. Okay, so that is going to be able to kill the Drogskol Captain. If we had used the Aether Vial for the Drogskol Captain, we would have had Force of Negation up there, which would have allowed us to kill the Chandra. So that was definitely our bad, and we don't have mana to use the Moorland Haunt. So, bit of a punt there. Either Greer World or Handsome, you can go ahead and put !punt up in the chat. That was definitely a bad play. Alright, so always no, always yield. It's good. You kill Chandra and then have answers. Yep. Oh, we get another Drogskol off the top. We're not going to make that same mistake again, are we, chat? Attack them, attack their Planeswalker, and pass with Force of Negation up. Streaming is hard. It's definitely harder to stream a league than play a league by yourself. But I have to admit, I much prefer and would much rather play the league for stream rather than do it myself. And we made it. We got the 4-1. Fantastic. Spirits in the current meta. I feel like Spirits has slowed down a little bit, where the format was starting to slow down, and we just recently got the Boros Blitz deck, which has just supercharged the modern speed again, where it was okay to, like be a turn 4 deck. You really have to be looking towards turn 3 right now to be doing your cool stuff. So for that reason, I think that the Bant Spirits deck is very interesting, because you're able to put down your 3 drops on turn 2, which means that you have access to Spell Queller when the opponent is going to like go for their Manamorphose turn or whatever, which is pretty cool. Whereas with the Azorius deck, you get access to Path to Exile and Shacklegeist. Now, the Shacklegeist was actually pretty interesting today. We did get a couple of opportunities to tap down the opponent's creatures for profit. Path to Exile worked as you would expect, incredibly, and Force of Negation is absolutely one of the premium cards in this deck. I understand that it's a very pricey card to get a hold of, but I think that if you are playing a Spirits deck, you definitely want to put the money in for the Skyclave Apparition and the Force of Negation. Being able to tap out, play aggressively, and then still have counter magic for when the opponent tries to anger the gods you during their turn is pretty impressive. So I think that this deck is still fine for Modern. As you saw, we had a positive record today, a 3-2 and a 4-1. I don't think it's quite as impressive as it was last month, but I think that it's absolutely still a deck that you could play, enjoy playing, and do well with, as you saw today.